Hello, this is about building solar farms using single axis trackers where we use the torque tubes as trolley rails. This is a pick and place machine riding down the trolley rails, setting out 4L, 4 in landscape at a time, but most of this will be for 2P, 2 in portrait. I'm Robert Daly, the inventor, 45 years in PV, engineer and MBA. This is about building large rows. These are 4-meter rows with 4-meter aisles, but we're going to be building 5-meter rows with 5-meter aisles now that the modules are much larger. It will also work for small 1P or 2 in landscape. Let's go ahead and build out those rows of 4 small and the 2 large. Here are the posts. After we have the post and the bearings, everything's ready to go. These pick and place machines are going to put out the torque tubes, lay them out, and then follow back, return back, putting out the PV. And that's it. Everything started over on the left from the staging area. Rinse and repeat. As I say, everything's staged at the end of the row, and all material is shuttled down the aisle. The rows are large for 2P. This one has a gap for the bifacial. There's 120 modules, so 60 sets of 2P. I would recommend pre-assembling the 2P in an off-site tent or an on-site tent. Underneath are purlins. The pre-assembly of the 2P should be with the purlins, but some companies prefer to have the purlins attached ahead of time, and then the workers load the PV up on top of those purlins. Either way is possible, but I really recommend pre-assembly of 2P and just spit them out onto that torque tube quickly. This machine happens to be rolling down the aisle with an industrial Pez dispenser, but imagine such as rolling down the torque tubes doing the same. 6.6 megawatts. Let's pick out 2 rows. The large row gives a large aisle. Five-meter aisle allows for agriculture, weed control, access for getting to the tracker, etc. As mentioned, we can build this with the trolley rails, the trolley system, using for the small size tracker rows. That would be 2 in landscape or 1 in portrait. Often they make the aisles larger so that they can get down the aisles either to build a solar array or to later access it or to farm down the aisles. So you get a lower ground coverage ratio when you go to small with a large aisle. Either way, you get a 5-meter aisle, but you're going to get a 50% ground coverage ratio with the large 2P. Our 2P is always balanced. Over on the left, it's up and down, always facing downward into the wind, regardless if the wind comes from the left or the right. At night, if it were to rain, or during the day, if it rains, it'll sheen the water off quickly so that it does not leave sediment ponds. And it's always balanced.
This is a test we're doing on these 2 panels for reflectance. I want you to see how easy it is for me to turn it. This is balanced.
I'm going to see if I can get this video to run for you as well.
Let's see, I'm going to lift these 2 panels with just one little hand. It's so balanced, and that's the friction right there, and that bearing and that bearing. There's no friction. There is, but it works in our favor.
It's very balanced. I could turn an entire row with my hand. As I say, it's got a neutral center of gravity, and that's at every tilt. Even at 75 degrees. And the only reason you'd want to go to this much of a tilt is for hailstorms. Torque tubes just lay down sequentially. Our bearings have no plastic bushings. It's steel on steel. It only turns twice a day. That's how you build large rows fast, while avoiding the aisles as much as you can. Thank you. That's all about faster, better, cheaper. And it's all done with this round torque tube, which is patented. Please reach out to us, our Dally, at sunandsteelsolar.com. Thank you very much.